Hello, everyone. This is Bill Griffin. Welcome to Different Take Podcast. If you like this content, please subscribe, like, share, comment. I really appreciate you watching. New episodes Tuesdays and Thursdays. Recently in the news, you have Kamala Harris saying the border is secure, along with the press secretary for Joe Biden, Karine Jean-Pierre, also saying the same thing. The border's secure, it's under control, there's nothing to worry about. Then you have the news of Florida, state of Florida. I suppose Ron DeSantis ordered this, or certainly approved some migrants going to the vacation island of Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts. So I had a lot of politicians, including Gavin Newsom, complain about that. But before we get to that, I'd like to play a clip. This is a kind of a lengthy clip. This is on CNN. This is on the Michael Smerconish show. And he is interviewing Henry Cuellar, Democrat from Texas, on whether or not the statements by Kamala Harris and Joe Biden through his press secretary that the border's under control is truthful. As I said, this is a rather lengthy clip, but it'll give you the numbers on what's going on the border from a Democrat, not a Republican.
That we've been meeting down here along the border. By the way, they might send 2 buses to Washington, D.C. They might send 2 buses to New York. I want you to know that in Laredo, every day we sent out 26 buses, either by ICE or NGOs that go to cities in the state of Texas, or even go outside the state of Texas to some of those cities. We sent out 26 buses a day, and that doesn't include Laredo's only one out of the 9 border patrol sectors. So we've been feeling this frustration for a long time. I did notice that the mayor of D.C. made a comment yesterday that Washington, D.C. was not a border town, and we don't have the infrastructure. They don't have the infrastructure. I have some of the poorest counties in the whole country, and for somebody to say that that we have the infrastructure, we don't have the NGOs strong enough to handle everything. That's why we're sending this folks outside of Laredo in the border town. So it's interesting, and some of us, and I'll say one last point, the city of Laredo, this is a Democratic area, a year ago sent out buses because they were releasing migrants in the streets of Laredo. So the city of Laredo started sending the buses over to Dallas and Houston, and the Houston mayor called up and said, well, we can't send them over to us. So the city of Laredo has been doing this, has done this for at least a year or 2.
So the numbers are pretty amazing. Now you have, this is a clip of Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, Democrat, left-wing, seems to have presidential ambition. And this is him talking about DeSantis sending migrants to Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts.
There's also going to be buses, and there will likely be more flights.
Today, Governor Gavin Newsom says he is calling on the U.S. Department of Justice to investigate.
Those migrants are used as pawns to humiliate and dehumanize. What Ron DeSantis is doing is a disgrace.
So Gavin Newsom clearly feels empowered to tell you whatever suits him. Up is down, down is up. The media in California protect, and the media nationally protect leftists such as Gavin Newsom, who, in my opinion, comes across self-absorbed, cynical politician who could care less about his constituents. And if you doubt that, I've got a clip at the end, which is kind of my take on this whole situation. The media, particularly in California, they protect Gavin Newsom because they report whatever Gavin Newsom says, they cover for him by omitting important things, such as these folks that traveled from Florida. These are folks that came here illegally. They admit they came here illegally, and they go to Martha's Vineyard, and it was under their own choice. They weren't forced to go there under gunpoint. They wanted to go there. And honestly, who wouldn't want to go there? It's a beautiful place. Check it out.
Martha's Vineyard's beaches and seaside cottages have drawn summer residents here for centuries. The island's isolation has made it the chosen vacation spot for presidents too, including Obama and Clinton.
So national media and media in California are telling you that this is a monstrosity that Ron DeSantis has sent these folks with no idea what will happen to them. He knows full well what will happen to them. They'll be taken care of by the citizens of Martha's Vineyard, just like any other city in the United States would do the same. They're going to leave people to starve on the streets or anything like that, particularly in Martha's Vineyard of all places. So the idea that these folks are being mistreated is, as I said, up is down, down is up. Gavin Newsom and these other politicians will say anything they want to. And the media will cover for them. If it weren't so sad, it would be very amusing. What if Ron DeSantis or the governor of Texas sent, as the media calls them, migrants? They're not here legally, so they avoid saying this. But what if they sent them to California, and specifically to this place?
Shit, sorry.
So Skid Row, that video, Skid Row, it goes on and on and on. I didn't want to subject you to the whole thing, but you got a taste for it. You know, you're just going to see the same thing over and over again. The video's unedited. It doesn't show the same street over and over again. It just shows you block after block after block of, as Gavin Newsom would call, unconscionable monstrosity, immoral, etc., etc. It's hard to believe Gavin Newsom could be taken seriously. But the media just goes along with it, and they go along with him. I don't think he's a viable presidential candidate because he's so far left, and these statements, I think, will come back to haunt him. He's not going to win Republicans over, and independents look at these comments and they think, what are you talking about? And the mainstream media continues to lose market share, so I don't think he's a viable opponent. But it is pretty ludicrous that he would say these things about Ron DeSantis, whose state is attracting people, whereas Newsom, people are fleeing. Part of the reason they're fleeing is they don't want to live in a place where you see high crime, high homelessness, and high prices. So that's my different take for today. I really appreciate you watching. Please subscribe, like, share, comment if you like the content, and thanks for watching.